Welcome back. Now, Nigeria's president-elect Bola Tinubu says he is refreshed and ready for the task ahead of him. Mr. Tinubu returned to the country on Monday afternoon after spending more than a month abroad. The former Lagos governor was welcomed by a crowd of supporters at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, the country's capital. The president-elect had traveled out of the country after the March 18 gubernatorial elections. Now, in order for us to have an in-depth purview of what is going on, especially on the conversation we're having this morning, we have right here in the studio, Mr. Ayobami Ladipo. Good morning.
Good morning.
He is a political enthusiast and a media practitioner. And I must tell you, it is quite interesting to hear when the president-elect told his supporters, especially those who came to welcome him, by saying that he is very strong. In fact, in his own words, he said, I am back, or rather, I am happy to be back. I'm rested, I'm refreshed, and I'm ready for the task ahead. Forget about what the rumor mill may have told you. I am strong, very strong. He says he has been consulting, on setting up a strong team ahead of the May 29 inauguration. On May 29, Bola Tinubu will be sworn in as Nigeria's president to succeed President Muhammadu Buhari, who would be completing his two-term of 8 years. All right, already introduced to you my guest on the program this morning, and it's quite an interesting thing to actually see what developed after the president-elect arrived. In fact, I would say a lot of areas the country politics was actually a buzz, but there was something that was witnessed, and the question that everyone is asking is, very strong should be strong enough, and why are these assurances not flying? So we saw some pictures when he was waving his hand and greeting people. We could see something attached to his arm, what they call a PICC, I don't know what.
Medical device.
It's a medical device, which was attached to his arm. And everyone was saying, okay, was that a facade? Are you being sincere with your state of health? We still do not believe you're strong enough. We still think that you are ill. We still think that with the state of health you're currently in, it is going to be quite impossible for you to govern or take over the country come May 29.
Okay, I'll take it this way. Before the campaigns, we had so many stories, rumors, and different narratives. Oh, it's not healthy, it's not fine, it's weak. Campaign started. This man traveled around the 36th state of this country. There was never a report of him probably breaking down, him collapsing, falling down somewhere. And yes, they said he's weak. There was mockery. Baba we know well. Baba we know well. There was no event that he skipped all through the campaign. He went through all of that with so many, with the level of expectation from opposition, from people who were hoping that, okay, there would be serious medical concerns. He went through it, scaled through. We had the election. And after election, he took a break to say, I want to rest and prepare for governance.
It's interesting that you said, sorry, it's interesting that you mentioned serious medical concerns, that you mentioned the campaigns that he embarked on. Yeah. Now, during the campaigns, we did see some shaking of hands, some inability to stand upright.
That was actually before the campaign.
During the campaigns.
No, before the campaign.
During the campaign.
So you saw,
I wish we could get the videos.
Because I will remind you that during the campaign.
So are you now trying to say that during the campaign he was a little bit unstable health-wise?
He was even looking better than he was looking better than he was before the campaign.
So before the campaign he wasn't looking very healthy.
Is that what you're No. During the campaign, he was even looking.
No, but I just said that.
Yeah. During the campaign.
I said during the campaign, he appeared to be unstable in terms of movement and some things.
No. During the campaign, there was no instability.
No, there was another video I saw.
With his hands.
Yes, there was, and there was a video I saw where he was being told to test the mic.
In fact, that was during the colloquium. Can you remember during the?
And that was during the campaign.
No, let's not forget that. See. The campaign period was an intense one. It was a period, and for every campaign, for any political season, you would see, before the advent of technology, it used to be written propaganda. But now with technology, there were so many videos that were even doctored on whatever angle.
So it could be a doctored video.
Yes, some
of him having that nerve.
No, the one that you saw of the hand was before the campaign. I said it earlier.
Okay,
yes.
Let me ask you a question.
And let's not forget that, see, humans are humans. We're not machines. Humans are not robots.
No, the problem, nobody is arguing that humans are not machines and that they are definitely not robots. But the question is, we already understand the critical situation it is to man that seat, be the president of Nigeria. There are a lot of complexities. And we are saying we do not want a repeat of what transpired when President Muhammadu Buhari was inaugurated, whereby he left the country for almost 6 months, 100 days. And everyone was asking, where is the newly, inaugurated president to take over the charge of all that he promised during the campaigns? So Nigerians are saying, okay, this is now after campaigns, after the Guba elections. You traveled out for a month. You came back and said you're better. How do we know now, after the inauguration, you wouldn't travel again due to we could be covered up 1 or 2 or 3 things?
So let me put it to you this way. The man you saw 2 days ago that arrived at Nnamdi Azikiwe airport, does he look good?
Of course, he definitely looked refreshed.
Does he not look very fresh?
Yes.
Does he not look robust?
But his opponent took a swipe at him and said, I do not need any rest.
That's politics.
You do not need any rest. Why do you have to travel out of the country to go and rest? He says you can't rest with the dire situation Nigeria currently is. Who wants to take a rest? That's basically what his opponents have said.
So hold on. So his opponent have said that he does not need to travel to rest.
Yes.
But the same opponent have traveled even after the elections, and some of the opponents have been arrested elsewhere. So what exactly are we talking about?
Okay, fine.
Anybody can travel. Everybody travels. Immediately the election was over, he traveled to take a rest. His opponent have been arrested.
He was arrested?
Yes.
Oh, he was properly just kept due to some anomalies, some mistaken.
He was held back where? Was he in Nigeria?
It was through a mistaken identity, which had been clarified.
There's no mistaken identity. Let's not talk about that.
Okay,
anyway.
Okay, fine. But the question is this.
Yeah.
It's been quite difficult for a couple of people to believe that President-elect is hale and hearty. So we saw a picture of something attached to his arm. People are asking questions. Okay, fine. The APC have a way of creating a perception that they are very, very good with strategy on how things are seen, what they're able to put out there, because it's always about put it in such a way that everybody believes. And one would say their media team is actually doing a good job in that regard. But regardless of that, a couple of people still think that President-elect is not strong enough. They still think his health status is meant to be questioned.
Okay, so the President-elect came into town and he told you himself, you didn't read it. Cloned the president for you are the Westerners. They are the people. So it means that if that is how you can clone people, the Martin Luther Kings should not be dead. If that's how you can clone people, Queen Elizabeth should not be dead. You should have them on seats. If that's how you can clone people, Gaddafi should be alive. Saddam Hussein, several of them, you should be seeing them on their seats. So it's only Nigeria that can clone a president in the history of the world. Come on now, you can do better than this. I call it watery opposition.
Watery opposition.
Yeah. Okay,
so let's look at things in perspective with what is currently on ground and how things have been going on recently since the election, since post-election. That's presidential and supplementary elections, including the governorship elections. One is the reason why we would see that perception on that front that Nigerians not trusting the process or trusting the physical capability and possibly a mental strategic capability of President-elect were some of the slurry speeches or incoherent speeches that were made during the campaign. Now, he came back and he said something. He's going to try to put a strategic team to help him during, when he becomes the president. And questions are being asked. Okay, so you become the president, okay, in body. So, but you're going to put people around you who would help you govern, not necessarily that you are physically fit to govern, to take control of the country. Okay, so let me come in here.
During the campaign, so you've mentioned slurry speeches and the rest of it. Oh, the famous one, the Bala Blue. Yeah.
Yes, the Bala Blue.
Very good. Now, we saw all of that during the campaign. But did you see the president-elect when he read the acceptance speech the morning when he was announced as the winner? Did you watch him around 4 a.m.?
Yes, we watched that alongside his wife.
Alongside his wife. And he spoke for about 45 to 48 minutes without even having to read from any paper. And he spoke all through. The video is still there on the internet. The same man during the campaign, and just the day he was announced as the winner, spoke for about 45 to 48 minutes, and people started on Twitter. People started tweeting that I thought they said this man cannot talk. Oh, so all the 1 minute video, all the 2 minutes, because this is the man that he was not guided by anybody.
You're saying that could have been doctored.
A lot
this
were
is a town hall meeting.
Different from Bala Blue. And the town hall is actually different from a Bala Blue. So okay, I think right now, I think we should be more concerned about May 29 having a very smooth
so handover. He did say something.
Sorry, and let me come in. When you talked about him coming into office and having a team and delegating, every president would come in and have a team.
Okay. Before you proceed with that line of thought, some schools of thought would like a better explanation as to the Bala Blue statement. All right, people would want to know what really transpired. What happened? Was it a mixture of was it a conflicting thought pattern?
There was.
I know you're not a doctor, but then as an observer, what would you say?
I think I just said it clearly, and I would go in line with the words of one of the party elders, Dele Alake.
Okay.
It was a doctored video, and that is it.
So you're saying it was remixed? They cut and joined it?
I said it, and I stand by that.
All right. The next question I want to ask is, when he arrived, he said something. He said that it's beyond May 29.
Yeah.
May 29 is just one day. That's just inauguration. The work starts immediately. And he needs to do some consultation. Now, we've been having conversations concerning the Senate. They do not want a repeat of what transpired in 2015 with President Muhammadu Buhari, when you had Saraki and Dogara. They're trying to see how they can have conversations with having a Senate president and a vice that would not make the tenure of President-elect quite difficult. There are some also instances, or rather critics, who believe that May 29 may not take place because of the Election Petition Tribunal case already ongoing. In fact, in a few days, it will commence. And one is thinking, okay, if these cases, these pertinent cases already filed concerning the infractions that were witnessed during the elections are still there, what is the possibility that he will be inaugurated on May 29? How is that even sure or true? And then there are questions concerning the transparency or objectivity of the judicial ruling in the Election Petition Tribunal. Because the idea is, once you're sworn in, it may be quite difficult to retract the certificate of return, if at all there seems to be damning evidence that these were the issues that transpired and possibly the president-elect is not, forthrightly the president-elect.
Okay, so number one, as a Nigerian and as a patriotic Nigerian, and as one who wants the progress of this green, white, green nation, I would say that May 29 would happen. It would come. It will be a success, and the president-elect title will no longer be there. Then it will be the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. That is number one. So when you talk about the petitions, let's not forget that petitions didn't. So we're talking about 2-3 different petitions, not one in particular. So there is one from the PDP, there is one from the Labour Party that came third and claims to have won the election. Good. So, and to all of this, even as of yesterday, within the Labour Party itself, the party that came third and wants to be first, because that's one thing that I need to learn in politics, how you can come third and lay claims to.
Let's watch the election.
So let me continue. So already,
well, it happened in Imo State. It happened in Imo State.
We hope
the one that
Uzodinma.
brought. So can you explain to me how that happened, please?
No, but that was basically what
As an
transpired.
enthusiast, I thought you would have.
Hope
observed this
Uzodinma
as
was the
well.
third or fourth in line, and
he was declared.
That's one that I do not remember right now.
you choose not to remember.
I do not remember. So,
Okay, so it's
now,
convenient amnesia.
So I can comfortably just ignore.
Okay.
I'm not an old man, so now, sorry, quick one. Then at the moment, as of yesterday, the acting chairman of the Labour Party had written to tribunal to withdraw petitions. The party is saying no. So you have
suspended.
to suspend.
Suspended chairman, actually.
Is it suspended?
Yeah.
He's actually suspended, but he's claiming
I thought
that
it
he
was
will not.
it was
Abure.
Abure that was
Now
suspended.
he's now the current chairman of the Labour Party.
So Abure is back as the chairman.
Yes, Abure is back.
So you see, when a house is divided against itself, they should fix that first. So you want to rule Nigeria, fix that first before you come here. Now, so with the same party, so you're saying the Apapa, Lamidi Apapa is suspended, but he has written to tribunal to say we want to take back petition. The party is saying no, we want to continue. So let's see which one tribunal will go.
All right, now
let's see what happens with the PDP.
Let's come back to now. Nigerians are worried that Nigerians would like to know if we are going to have a president who will address pertinent issues, especially when people are attacked in a place or there's a natural disaster somewhere, a president who will go there and show concern, not just a president who will be speaking from his media spokesperson.
Or sometimes respond a week after.
You see, do you think we will have a different administration from what the Buhari administration has presented to us?
Okay, so for anybody who witnessed President-elect Asiwaju Bola Tinubu's reign as governor of Lagos State for 8 years, I think this is just very clear. For anybody that witnessed, who lived in Lagos or probably read, should know his person, should understand that this is someone who feels very concerned with everything that happens within. When he was governor, he was everywhere in Lagos State. He's not the governor that just sits and probably doesn't get involved in things. Number one, he's a lover of humanity. So you're not going to see a president that would not be concerned about what happens to his citizens. You're seeing a different reign this time. It's newness. Like you said, it's renewed hope.
Okay. All right. There were some, would I say, during his campaigns, he made where he was talking about his manifesto on how to resuscitate or diversify the Nigerian economy. He made mention of manufacturing. He made mention of how to, cut out some wranglings within the power sector where we can begin to have consistent power supply. In the aspect of manufacturing, though, he wasn't specific. He basically just generalized and more like, okay, this is how we're going to diversify the economy to create job opportunities. And the questions were being asked. You did not specifically tell us how you were going to expand the manufacturing industry, with what angles, because there are challenges in most of these sectors right now, especially sectors that could internally generate revenue. You were not specific in telling us. You just basically just reeled it out, right? There were no details on how you intend to go about it. How do we believe that these are the areas, or how this is how you're going to help make things work or make things better? President Muhammadu Buhari came on board and said he will lift up about 10 million Nigerians out of poverty. We have the Trader Money Project, which of course up till now we haven't seen what the outtake is. Nobody's giving us a breakdown of how these monies were utilized and what the profits it is that is generating from there. We have Nigerians who are seriously indebted, who are in poverty, and unemployment rate has increased. So it's almost like a juxtaposition of what was promised when they came on board. How do we know that President-elect will do what he promised economically during his campaign?
Okay, so if a man could have governed Lagos and he had raised the IGR, built the state, supported successive governments in making sure that Lagos State continues to thrive and succeed. If a man ruled as governor of Lagos State, at the time that it was against the federal powers, when there were no allocation for a couple of years, the same person is now coming in as the president. I think right now this debate is over about, oh, will he do this or not? It's just in a couple of days.
This is beyond
now, 3 weeks.
Now,
this is implementation time. It's time to implement everything that is on paper.
All right, great. Now, as we wrap up, we do know that in the U.S., presidents they release their medical status, their health status to the public. They make it known. Now, do you think that will be the case here in Nigeria? Can we have the president-elect or president when he becomes a president, if and when he becomes a president, will we have him release his medical status to the public?
If the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria allows it. And
well, if the Constitution says you should declare your assets, then it also says you should let us know how you fare health-wise.
Like you said, so the Constitution allows you and requires that
he is a Democrat, so
that you declare your asset. Your health is not supposed to be part of your asset. So if the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria allows it, if it gives a room for that, then why not? We are all guided by the Constitution, so it's for all Nigerians.
And you remember what happened during NSAS? You remember the NSAS incident?
Very, very well.
Right. Now, when he was being accused of being behind the ownership of that hotel, Oriental Hotel, that's Oriental Hotel, right?
Yeah.
The ownership of Oriental Hotel and being behind the invasion or the attack on people, on Nigerians, he came out. He put out his mobile number. I don't know if that number is still active right now.
Yeah.
He put out his number for people to call him. And then he did say, look, I have nothing to do with this. I am not, Now, if he could do that, when Nigerians are questioning his health, why can't he just say, look, let this be out there in the open. I am plain and open.
Okay, so let me answer the two. So one is a question then, because you mentioned the NSAS part. I don't think there's a need for us to go over some issues that are not even supposed to be issues, and I say that this way, because even for NSAS, Bola Tinubu was not the governor of Lagos State. He wasn't the president. He wasn't the commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He had nothing to do with.
The way you're saying that if he could release his number,
so I'm going there. I'm actually going there. But his name was everywhere. Why? That a man had ruled. The last time he contested an election was in 1998/99. So now, and his name was everywhere without being the governor. And he came out to say, wait, what's my involvement? Nothing. And now you're asking about his health. This man came back 2 days ago without you even asking, hello, President, are you fine? He said, I am back. I am better. I'm refreshed. Right. You can see me.
All right, then. Okay. I must say a very big thank you to you, Ayobami Ladipo, a political enthusiast and media practitioner. But I'm going to ask you, do you belong to any political party?
Do I belong to a political
Currently, are you a card-carrying member?
I have political affiliation. Are
you a card-carrying member of any political party?
Yes.
Which
I would not want to do.
All right, thank you for coming on the program. Well, coming up next on VOP this morning, 1 week, one trouble. So it seems for the Labour Party. Well, while it seeks to reclaim what it has called its stolen mandate by the enemy, without the party is also battling to save its soul from within. That conversation comes up next. Stay with us.